Okay, loves, just beginning on your mat, lying down or seated, whatever feels right. Just start by taking a few lovely deep breaths. It always just kind of centers us and brings us back into the now. And if you take a lovely deep one, breathing in, and a nice long sigh, even if it's a noisy sigh, that can feel quite relieving. How are you feeling? Scan through for any physical sensations, any aches and pains that you're holding. But also have a moment to reflect on how you're feeling in this moment from your day. And it's also lovely to just think back on some points from the moment that you woke, any joyful moments, recognizing any areas that frustrated you or that were boring. And this knowing that the whole day is a kind of a combination of lots of little ups and downs, peaks and troughs. Whether we've been busy and worn ourselves out to the point where we come home and sit down and relax, and that joy that we get from those small moments that has led us to this moment now. Enjoying the sensation of the breath around the nose and the movement of your chest and your belly. And just having that moment of gratitude of being in your body. So if you're lying down, just gently start to hug your knees in. Have a stretch in whatever way feels good. And if you're seated again, just choosing to move gently in a way that suits you, maybe tilting the head or lifting up and down. Just a gentle roll into the shoulders, and we'll come up to seated in a moment. We will work with the mantra So Hum and the breath this evening. The So Hum is a Vedic mantra, and Vedic is very old, ancient scriptures, the Vedas, and so it means I am that I am, So Hum. As we breathe in, the sound of our inhale, when we just listen to it through our nose, sounds like so. And as you breathe out through your nose, it sounds like hum. So it is really a lovely kind of way of thinking about the breath and the sound of the breath. So we will rest our hands. And as we mentally breathe in, we will just say so. And as we breathe out, hum. And you can kind of lengthen it in your mind as you say it, so a long so and a hum. However you wish. We'll do this for 4 or 5 minutes, and it will bring us into a lovely relaxed state. So gently close the eyes, relax the body, and we'll begin. So breathing in, saying so, and the exhale, hum. And just for as long as you can, try and stay with the practice and the breath. Staying with your breath. Coming back to the mantra if your mind wanders. Staying with Soham. And so gently, we'll just take one more breath in this practice. And gently coming back. How often did your mind wander? How often did you think, oh, I've forgotten what I was doing? And then just returning back to the Soham. It happened a couple of times for me. So very, very normal, but still a lovely practice just to keep going with. Okay, so we're going to come into mantis, the first pose. This does involve opening through the hips. So if this doesn't suit you, please choose another pose this evening. And if you want to make it a little bit more comfortable, maybe using a little cushion for the belly. So coming into a sort of a wide-legged child's pose, extending the arms out, forehead down. And even if you do attempt this pose for a little while and it gets it starts to build any kind of sensation, then always exit sooner than you need to. So taking a few deep breaths and starting to look where you can relax. aware of the stretch in the inner thighs, around the hip creases. And a lovely deepening of the breath into the back of your body. If you feel your head is too low down, you can use a block. How does this feel this evening? Enjoying a deep stretch over the knees and the tops of the feet. Very stimulating for your stomach meridian. You can play with extending your arms out a bit further, noticing if that feels nice through the back. So keep checking in with yourself if this is okay, staying here. If you need to adjust or move out of it, then you can. If you want to bring your hands above your head into a prayer, to praying mantis. Noticing if things have softened and stretched a little. So one more breath. And then gently coming up, nice and slowly. Coming out of this quite deep compression of the legs as our first pose. So being lovely and gentle with yourself. Coming down. Resting to your mat with some lovely long breaths. How do you feel? Where are you feeling that tingly chi moving through your body now? Feet, shins, calves, inner thighs, hips, soles of your feet perhaps. And with every breath, really trying to let go a little bit more through your back, all the muscles that might feel really tight still. You might also have a lovely kind of cool feeling on the front of your body, belly and chest. So when you're ready, let's just draw our knees in one at a time. It's lovely just to have a few moments watching all those sensations fade away gently. So rocking. We're going to come into supported bridge next time, this next pose. So using a block or a bolster if you have one. And usually you would have the block on the tall height. This evening I feel like I just want it a little bit lower. That's just pure choice, personal choice. So as we lie down, lifting the body as you bring your toes towards your buttocks. And if you're coming onto the top height, really lift your body a bit higher up. But if you're on that lower level, just placing the block on that flat part of the sacrum that you can feel, not encroaching on your lumbar vertebrae. And then just trying to get a bit comfortable. So in this pose, you'll often find a bit of tension through the thighs and the buttocks. Try and relaxing into lower back. But also where your shoulders and upper arms connect to the mat, you might find that your shoulders start creeping up to your ears. Just seeing if you can keep relaxing. Some deep breaths down to the belly, feeling the movement into the chest. Relaxing shoulders, relaxing across the top of your chest. And in this pose, how do you feel? Keep relaxing those shoulder blades. This is a lovely pose for your heart and throat. Just noticing maybe how the heart and throat feel, our ability to communicate our feelings. Both of these chakras. Have we been kind with our words today, outwardly and inwardly? Or have they been sharp? Have they been truthful? It's just nice to observe. Have we felt the need to withhold what we think and feel? But ultimately, have we been kind? Enjoying the deep belly breaths. Again, keep checking in with your neck, shoulders, the muscles around the scapula, your upper back. Just following the nice steady rhythm of your breath, connecting with all layers of yourself. And then we'll take one more breath. As you slowly come out of this pose, so lifting gently away from your block, you can just pop it aside. Slowly coming back down to the mat, feeling that connection, that nice relief from the block. Nice sigh, relaxing. And again, tuning into wherever you feel energy movement. Notice your thoughts, just witness them, what was going through your mind just then. Become conscious. And so the next pose we're going to come into is swan or pigeon. If you can't do that the way we do it normally, then I'm just going to show you from here how you can come into the reverse pigeon, which is like thread the needle, with one foot on the other knee and then just hugging round that thigh and bringing the leg away, resting the head down. So this is an alternative. If that is too much, you can simply keep your foot on the floor and rest the foot on your knee. You're still opening through the hip and this part of the leg. So that is an alternative, reverse pigeon or reverse swan. So have a little rock if you want to, just massage the back, and then we'll come up into swan. Start by bringing your right leg forward, right knee rather, bending here. Having a little cushion handy is always great, just to support under the right buttock and thigh. And then coming into swan. It's nice if you want to, you can use some blocks and really lift. This does encourage a bit more of a curve through your lower back. But you can also, if you want to, use the blocks to rest your elbows on if you want to lower down. It's nice to have these props around you just to kind of play with sometimes. See how it feels in the moment. It's might feel different from a previous week. And as always, just trying to relax. Noticing where you're holding on tightly. Being curious in your mind, why do you hold on tightly in certain areas of the body? Why is it hard to relax? And then just resting without blocks. If you wish, you can
use a block for your forehead or let the head relax. Just starting to soften. How does it feel in this pose when you come into the pose initially? Once you've been in it a few minutes, and then just gradually finding that surrender as things start to give. If you want to bring your head all the way down and the arms out, you can. Just make sure that the belly doesn't become too tight. You can breathe deeply into the belly. So trying to relax your face. Again, this is a really nice pose for your stomach and spleen meridian, as well as the liver, gallbladder, kidneys. Keep trying to relax the right hip and buttock, thigh. If at any point you need to come out, you can do. Gentle, even breaths. So we'll take one more breath in this pose. And ever so gently coming up. It's really nice to come out in slow motion. Listening to how the arms feel as we lift up. And then releasing the leg. Let's swing it forwards. And lie back. That really lovely release of the right leg that you get as you come out. Relax. So, how long does it take you to fully relax through your back of your body? And again, really aware of the chi, prana that's shifting ever so gently and subtly through your body. Inner thighs, around the groin, hips, leg. A lovely pose for your sacral energy, this energy that resides below our navel and in our lower spine. So let's just explore the other side, hugging the legs in for a moment. What parts of your body feel a little bit more spacious now that they come alive a little through these poses? And then gently rolling up. And again, positioning yourself either into swan or reverse swan, whichever feels right for this particular side of your body. Left knee is bent. We shuffle the left foot in front of the right leg. And again, just finding where you're most comfortable. Starting upright for a moment is nice to get a little curve into your lower back. Starting to relax your back leg and feeling the initial part of the stretch through the thigh and buttock. And then in your own time, whenever you want to, perhaps coming onto your elbows. So looking to the parts of the body that are resisting. Maybe take a little while to let go and release. Is it reflecting something in life at the moment where we're resisting something quite hard? Or does it soften easily and we're happy to go with the flow? Try and soften the breath to the belly as well, and the front of the body and chest. Notice if the muscles are tight here. Try not to roll too much onto the left hip, keeping the hips nice and squarely forward. How does the breath feel? Is it laboured? Or can you breathe deeply? And how does it feel from right to left? Keep checking whether the breath and the body becomes tight. Relaxing around your shoulders.
And one more breath. Coming up slowly. And noticing wherever you feel the other side, whether it's similar, a completely different experience. And we'll lie down. Relax. Again, just maybe have a wiggle of the hips, rock the pelvis, just find neutral spine. And then settling into feel whatever you feel physically, energetically. And observing your thoughts. Just keep relaxing and looking. And then gradually, let's just draw our knees in. Rocking. Rolling in small circles. And then we'll come into waterfall, one of our favourites. Using your cushion, just roll the buttocks up, wedge it underneath. If you want a little blanket over your feet, you can do. Actually, I think I will this evening. It just feels a bit more comforting to have something warm over the toes. It's the more you can relax, the more you can not worry about the temperature around you or the fabric against your skin. You will enjoy these poses a lot more and really tune in rather than something irritating you. So, relaxing. Such a lovely way to end your day with your legs raised, allowing all fluids to draw more towards the heart area, to relieve your feet. Just encouraging the lymph through the body to flow and the blood and circulatory system. And if you have your eyes closed, you can draw your awareness to your third eye, Ajna. And gazing into whatever shapes, colours, inspiration comes. How do you feel? Not just physically, but do you feel peaceful? Content in this very moment, in the space that you're in? Perhaps there's a lovely elevated feeling of bliss. after your practice, you might feel the feelings of being more loving flowing through you, feeling this act of self-love. Even as you lie in this quite relaxing pose, notice if your neck is tense, or your shoulders, or your face. Enjoying the breath, how perhaps the breath has become quite slow and deep and rhythmic. And gently we'll start to bend the knees, lower the feet. Just have a moment on your mat. Before we go into relaxation, I'd quite like to come up to seated and just do some Nadi Shudan, so alternate nostril breath. And just having a few moments here to witness the after effects of waterfall. How do you feel? What do you feel? Where do you feel it? So often throughout your day, your acquaintances and people around you might ask you what you're doing. But every now and then it's really nice to ask yourself how you are feeling, how you are being. Really connecting inwards. So very gently, just bringing these in. Let's come up to seated together. Keep your blanket handy if you've used one. And if you like a meditation cushion, then you can draw one, sit on it. Nadi Shudan, alternate nostril breathing. Very lovely practice to do at the beginning and the end of your day. Extremely balancing for your left and right hemispheres of the brain, and for encouraging balance to the right and left side of your body. Often there is a slight imbalance in our bodies, as we notice physically. Maybe sometimes we're more in our feminine aspect or our masculine aspect. So it's a really lovely practice. So just resting the backs of your hands on your thighs. We'll close the right hand, all fingers to the thumb to start with. And let the eyelids close. Just a few breaths to explore how the open hand, the left Nadi Ida, feels. So as you breathe, notice if it feels blocked or if it's quite free flowing. And then we'll close that left hand, open the right, and just a few moments of exploring this side, Pingala. How does the flow of breath feel compared with the left? Okay, so close the right hand, we'll open the left, and we'll just do a minute or so of these rounds here. Left hand open, breathing in. Close, open the right hand, exhale. Inhale with the right hand open. Then close, open the left, exhale. And again, so in the left, close, and then out the right. In through the right. Close, then out through the left. So carry on just in your own timing, your own rhythm of breath. And again, focus on Ajna, gazing about 6 foot ahead of that internal third eye. What do you see, or what do you imagine yourself seeing? What comes into your thoughts? When you come to the end of your round, as you exhale through your left side, you can release Nadi Shodhana. Either remain seated or lying down in relaxation. We'll have 10 minutes of our usual relaxation. I'm going to pick an angel card, because in my mind's eye just then I felt like I was connected to sort of an angelic energy. So as always, open up your mind to any inspiration that maybe will come. It's funny, out of all of these cards, sometimes very similar ones come out. Serena, we've had this one before, linked with abundance. I'll read it all the same, because sometimes a different time, a different space, a different day, a different you will hear something in a very different way, and it will mean something depending on what's going on at this very time in life. So As you relax to your mat, let me read you this little piece of guidance. Serena, I am the angel of abundance. You will receive the money that you need, and God is in charge of how this will happen. Have faith. God is the source of God or universe or source, whatever you feel is how you connect. So God is the source of all of your good. Release all of your cares and worries to me, and I will bring them directly to God. The more that you surrender this situation to heaven, the more open you become. Your openness, like outstretched arms, welcomes the gifts that we bring you. When you worry, however, it closes you down. It then becomes more difficult for us to deliver your gifts. You don't notice your gifts or you push them away. God's infinite creativity means that your financial support will come in unexpected ways. One of the reasons why you worry is because you don't know how your money will be delivered. You can release these worries by completely relying on God's wisdom and care. Notice your repetitive thoughts, feelings, and ideas. They are how we communicate divine guidance to you. As you follow these divine directives, your supply comes to you on the wings of angels, without delay or reservation. The more that you can relax and trust, the faster we will bring these gifts your way. So very like the law of attraction, sending out that cosmic order or whatever desire and letting the idea go, trusting the manifestation process. So with that card, whatever worries you do have, maybe just imagine them floating up into the sky, turning into a cloud and just blowing away. So gently, just notice where your thoughts are. How do you feel after your practice? Has a certain little ache or pain diminished or even gone away completely? How does it feel to breathe? Is there a little bit more space in your body?
So very gently, if you're lying down, start to have a nice stretch. And if you're already seated, again, maybe just roll the shoulders, gently tilt the head side to side. And then beginning to hug the knees in if that feels good right now. Taking some deeper breaths. They might be the last few conscious breaths you take today. Everything else will go back onto automatic pilot. So it's really wonderful to savour the time that you have on your mat where you are the most perhaps connected, precious time. And then in your own time, you can just roll to the side and come up to seated. Have a moment to ground yourself again, even if you were already seated or join me seated. Imagine roots coming from your tailbone and just settling deeply into earth. It's a way of connecting with your root chakra that enhances the feelings of being safe and secure and deserving this place on this earth. So a very grounded feeling is the basis for all our other feelings and emotions and everything else that comes. So, and then we can draw our hands together. Om Shanti. Namaste.